Hello, everyone. My name is Andreas, pop culture guy. John and myself are here today to discuss the classic 1980 comedy uh, movie Caddyshack. John, how you doing?
I'm good, Andres. How are you? Thanks for having me. Why are you talking so robotic?
well, one of our critics, someone commented that I need to fix certain thing in the intro, and then I need to fix it. So to be professional, like
What? Who
be
said this?
professional. Um, anonymous tipper.
Okay. All right.
I, it's close to home, so that will give you enough information. So
This
the
is what you want.
yeah, yeah. So the anonymous tipper, advised me to do, well, say John and myself, that way, introduce you first. You're the handsome man. You're the host,
I'm
the
fine.
co-host.
I'm the host. Yeah, I'm like, I'm not the host. You're the host.
You're the co-host, and to be professional as a podcaster. So
Yes, of course. Yep. All right. Thank you for having me, Andres. Yeah, from my understanding, we're here to discuss Caddyshack, the 1980 film. Yeah.
well, I just they just told me that. So anyway, so they just told me that. It's like, okay, fine, I had to do it that way. But anyway, to get out the intro, hello everyone, me, John and myself, myself, the
And
pop
John.
culture guy. Yeah. Are here today to discuss Caddyshack, as mentioned, the 1980 classic film by Harold Ramis, of course, starring Chevy Chase, Wayne Knight, uh, Wayne Knight. Oh my God, not the one. Oh, Ted Knight, and Rodney Dangerfield, and of course our favorite Bill Murray. Yeah, so it's
Those guys.
classic.
Yep.
Yeah, and so from last podcast, did you say this is your first viewing for this movie?
This is my first Caddyshack audition. Yeah.
Oh my God! So let's go from there. What's your overall opinion and thoughts on this film? I mean, this is like top three. I mean, for me, top three, top five comedies, like just overall funny movies of all time. What do you think?
I actually, I'm going to be honest, I wasn't a huge fan.
Really? Huh?
I personally found the movie a little exhausting.
Well, I mean that I cannot, I cannot argue with that. But
Well, this
yes,
will make for an interesting podcast episode.
yeah, that's true. Well, okay, so all right, uh, the assumption part, that's very true. Um, just what else that it didn't click for you?
I found it to be very much a product of its times. It's very 1980.
Yeah,
I found the just to me personally, the episodes with a lot of kind of teen sexual behavior a little uncomfortable. Um,
yeah.
I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of Rodney Dangerfield. I find his kind of humor a little forced, if too much
Wow.
of it. And I found Bill Murray's parts of the film to be it's as I think someone said while I was watching it, it's like watching two movies at the same time. It's like a completely other part of a different movie, a completely different movie.
Mm. I, I mean, I can't. I mean, I have to agree with that because I mean, if you read behind the scenes, because this was a very like the character Danny was supposed to be the main lead.
Mhm.
But while they were making the film, I saw the documentary of making this film,
Mhm.
and it was funny when Bill and Chevy and of course I think Ronnie Dangerfield all came into the movie. All their parts were cameos. Apparently, they were just cameos. They weren't supposed to be main roles, as you saw in the film.
Interesting.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so they improvised their whole parts, so their roles got expanded. And then I
Mhm.
think so, like Danny and the whole like teenagers. caddies you see in the film,
Right.
their roles were sort of reduced. So that's kind of like the feeling you see. And then apparently the golfer thing. Speaking of the golfer, was a last minute thing to connect the dots between the plot lines. Um, Apparently, the producer John Peters, who the executive producer for this film, m- told the director, "You need to add this because you need to connect these plot points
Hmm.
to you know,
You,
you
you
know."
mean the golf tournament at the end?
No, Bill Murray chasing over the golfer.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that is like a thing that this made up, and they like to connect all these major plot lines now that they have in their movie.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I can see where you're coming from, um, John.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And hey, I mean, for me, this is not my favorite comedy. I just think it's just for me, it's like a top tier, like a top five, Howard Ramis film written, but it's not gonna be a Ghostbusters,
No.
Groundhog
No.
Day,
Yeah.
like, um, what else? I mean, or any of their comedies, that you've seen.
Yeah.
It's not up there. I just think it's just like top 10 or like bottom list,
Hmm.
comedy films.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm very shocked. I mean, I really like this movie. I love Rodney Dangerfield because I just like his comedy. Like I like he doesn't use curse words and like, I mean, come on, you should laugh at the scene where he was like criticizing that was a rainbow hat, and then the judge or was it Ted Knight's character was wearing it,
Hmm.
and he's like, "Oh, it looks on you," and he rolls his eyes. I mean, that was great.
I think it's not just about the lines. Like the lines, I think if there's too much of like, say, if you wrote down exactly what he said and you had someone
Mm,
say it, if you had too much of that kind of humor, it would be just as exhausting. Which at points it was, but it's also his delivery. I'm not a personal fan of that kind of delivery where it's so forced and in your face. It's not subtle whatsoever that it's a joke. You know, it's like,
yeah,
here I'm making a funny comment. This hat shit. Oh, no, bad. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse on this podcast.
no,
Am
that's
I?
fine. I mean, yeah,
Okay.
you can curse.
I
I
didn't know
mean,
if this was family. This was for family.
no,
Uh,
no. I mean, all these are non-kids, so I always put that on. So,
right.
because if you put the kids mold, you're not gonna save the video on your like playlist or whatnot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So if you put no, then you're fine.
Okay.
Which I mean, so it's weird.
Right.
YouTube is weird. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Uh,
like, it's so in your face, and it's obnoxious to me. It's obnoxious,
yeah,
but
yeah.
that's my personal taste in humor.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Dangerfield's humor is very unique. It's very different from the other comedies, like especially comedians in this movie.
Hmm.
Like Chevy Chase or Bill Murray specifically.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree. He could his character could come off too obnoxious, which I do agree. But here it's a little bit more control. Um, I mean there's there's just lines that I just I do laugh at. Some of these lines are funny. Like of course when he tell the waitress to tell the cook that the food is like tastes like dog food, and then cut to the next scene, and he's like dog food, and like his staff trying to hold him before he could kill him. Like that's funny scene, or the boat scene when he's wanting to meet the Ted Knight's character, and then he's like speeding throughout the ocean, and then the line
Hmm.
this one I really love when the plane comes over him and you say, "Oh my god, I almost got run over by Emil Earhart."
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's just not my. It's not my sense of humor.
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, it's just humor is subjective, and him specifically, you have to kind of like warm up to him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If if you seen some of his like routine, like his comedy stand up or like videos of him, he is funny and he's really great. But yeah, yeah, I gotta say, but I mean, because he's like a top three character for me in this movie, like him, Bill Murray, and then I mean, has to be either the villain or Chevy Chase. But I mean, those two are my favorites, Bill and him as
I did.
characters.
I actually liked Chevy Chase in this movie. Actually, I felt like he was the best character personally. I found his scenes very funny. Like the whole he's talking to the one lady and he says, "What are you doing in this neck of the woods or whatnot?" Um, it's
Yeah,
and that kind of fumbling and foibling over phrases and
yeah,
one of his first lines is, "Do you do drugs, Danny?" Yeah, all the
y-
time.
yeah, all
Good,
the time.
good.
Good. What's the problem? And then Danny say, I don't know, or I have no problems,
Yeah,
or something
I
like that.
actually found him funny in this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I mean, Chevy Chase, he's very funny. Yeah, he's more of like the everyday man. His humor is just so acceptable.
Mhm.
You get his, it's like, I mean, like if you've seen the vacation movies,
Yeah.
Christmas or all that, like it's, his humor there just hits you right away. Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah, he's speaking
his character is very like fascinating. Like he's like a rich like person, presumably, right?
yeah.
And like he's very sane, rarely, and and we hear some background about his father, like knew the Ten Knight character,
Mhm.
and so like I wish we got more to know about him as a character in the movie.
Yeah, it was very kind of they're all inconsequential until the tournament.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah,
got Tonight and and the Danny character, and they're the real main characters of the movie, and you just have these
yeah,
other guys kind of interspersed throughout here and there.
yeah,
But they all
yeah.
come together at that last scene.
Yeah, that scene. Yeah, and and then of course they just forced Danny to be in their side, while he was supposed to accept the scholarship. But yeah, yeah, yeah. The fact that I know the background of this movie, it's always funny for me how like because all of that can easily fall apart, but like I'm very surprised it actually holds. You know,
It's
like
surprisingly cohesive for what it is. It's I think it still lacks some of the cohesiveness just because again
yeah,
it's all these characters don't really mean anything until the last 15 minutes of the movie,
yeah,
except for Ted Knight and Danny, you know.
yeah.
Like think
Well,
about like what role does Danny's girlfriend really play? The Irish one.
yeah,
She's just there to have a sex scene and then
yeah,
she's pregnant and then she's not. And that's pretty much it.
yeah. Well, it has to be even more like maybe there was more storyline between her and Danny, but then unfortunately it just got cut out from the movie while they were making it.
To make more time for like these kind of irrelevant comedy sketches. It's odd choices. Like I am surprised that it came together into somewhat of a story,
Yeah,
because it is so random. It's all over the place,
yeah,
especially Bill Murray's part.
yeah. Well, I mean, like, yeah, but also it makes sense. Like at least it has cohesive, like around that character of Bill Murray. Like, yeah, it doesn't connect to the other plot lines, but it connects to this if you understand, like, you know, like, oh, if this golfer damaged this whole golf whatever system, and then it's like it's gonna be bad for them for business, and so it's like okay, I understand why he's here in this movie. So
Well, I understand why he's on the golf course, but what does he have to do with Danny's story?
yeah, that's true. I mean, I mean,
Like just because like say you have a movie at a hotel doesn't mean that you have to include the housekeeper as a major character. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's true. But I mean, that's the thing. Like they did it, and then it worked. I mean, worked for me and everyone that
Yeah,
likes this movie.
yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
All due respect to that, you know.
yeah, yeah. I didn't, but I think it could have gone really bad if you didn't have the right actor. That's the thing. Like, it's Bill Murray. Like, he really sells this like kooky handler of this institution, and it's just, and his beef with the golfer is funny. It's like,
Mhm.
and then it's funny towards the end when when I first saw this, I was like, I cannot believe he blew up the whole golf like area just to kill this thing.
Mhm. Yeah, but that was pretty funny watching that whole place blow up and everyone's reacting. There's now these huge ditches in the middle
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
course. You know, that was good.
And the music, this one was playing that the music, but that was playing around it was like such perfect one because you hear this in those classic operas. If you hear
Mhm.
it, I don't know what this is called, but um, the canon song or something.
Yes, yes, the 1812 overture.
Yes, that. Thank you. Pitch perfect comedy gold. Like, oh,
Yeah,
oh my god.
it's a very good backing to something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
especially
and it
when there's actual explosions.
exactly. And I just think that's so clever. But yeah, but I so let's get talk to Danny, like the character, the main character of this movie, because I think that's always an oversight for this movie because a lot of people talk about Bill Murray's character and uh Ronnie Dangerfield's character, and then of course Ten Knight and Chevy Chase. But
Mhm.
Danny, I mean, as you said before, John, is he's the main character of this movie. I mean, you see him from the beginning and then towards the end, and he has a clear arc throughout the movie.
Yeah.
You know, he has that typical teenager coming to age storyline.
Mhm.
He's he wants to get out of he doesn't want to be a caddy and all that. And he has this opportunity to be a professional golfer, with a scholarship and all that.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
it's I mean, I like Danny. I think he's a he's an interesting character. I mean, he does have funny moments. I do like the moment. This is my funny one with what is it? Ten Knight's character smells or whatever
Oh,
the
yeah,
Dutch.
yeah, Judge Smells.
Yeah, Judge Smells. Um, when he, after he got caught sleeping with his granddaughter, and he got called into his office, and then of course he's sitting like forward in his chair, and then he's like, "Sit down, Danny," and it's like he's already sit down. That's like my favorite moment for him.
Mhm.
And then after that, and then he's trying to see Danny, and but the lamp is like between them, and
Yep.
and he angrily kiss it off, and then he gets that scared. Like, that's my favorite moment between those two. Um, I don't know. It's just funny how he gets angry. But
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, no, it, like, starts smashing the bed and everything.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my god. And then other moment from Danny, I guess, is I guess the him infatuated the granddaughter. It's very funny sometimes.
Mhm.
But yeah, but I that's the thing about this movie is like like the whole caddy, like this kid, the whole story is it's pretty straightforward, and then you get these more big stars, and then their comedy bits. It's like it does feels out of place sometimes. You know,
Yeah, I feel like it took away from, again, that main plot. It's like these weird distractions.
yeah. Yeah, especially like the pool scene. It's like, like, 'cause, I mean, this is before the was it this the teen sex craze films, like Porkers and or the Avenger of the Nerds. Like this is before those. Like, this was like sort of setting up that, but
Yeah, it's totally a
it,
part of it.
yeah, but it's more traditional comedy and adult comedy with just
Yeah,
having the kids.
yeah.
Yeah, so but yeah, yeah. But I mean, it's clear. I mean, it's consistent. At least, Danny is, he achieved the shot towards the end of the movie. That's great. Um
Mhm.
and Judge Smails has my favorite line ever when he say, "Well." we're
Oh,
waiting
you
for it.
have, huh?
He's
We're
waiting
waiting.
for.
Hmm.
Oh my god, what kind of sick judge is he?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
yeah, like you're doing this illegal like tournament. Like they're baiting their money on each other who is gonna hit the pucks in those holes, and
Hmm.
it's like you should be a little more mature than them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's I guess it's also making fun of the adults for acting like children. You know.
yeah, yeah. Well, and this movie fits on everything about Howard Ramis and like him attacking the institution. Like the institution of systems, like
Hmm.
the workforce or government slash the how you say it like bureaucracy of society. And
Hmm.
then this movie, it's really attacking that, and then you can see that with the judge and the rich and the low class with the caddies and all that, and so it's there, and in a very good way.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So but anyway, let's get into our favorite characters. I mentioned mine's. Mine's is Bill Murray. His name, what's his name? Carl. That's his name.
Hmm.
And then of course Al. Rodney Dangerfield's character. Those are my two favorite characters in movies. They're just so centric and just out there. Of course, Al. He's the centric billionaire who has everything, and then you got Carl, the very goofy and just bizarre character we have in this movie. What's your favorite character? Or
I think again Chevy Chase's character. I love the humor in it. Is kind of like just like he's successful, but he's also kind of like uh, lost, utterly lost.
yeah,
you know, he's just kind of meandering through all of this, uh,
yeah,
especially by the end. You know, and he's
yeah,
trying to inspire this kid to just go for what he wants and everything like that, but also having no real knowledge himself of what to do. You
yeah,
know, he knows that. I like that, and I like the kind of humor that they worked with him as well. It was good. Yeah,
yeah. I agree. Yeah, it's just like he seems like the leading man type, and
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, and he works well with Rodney Dangerfield as
Hmm.
well. Like they don't have too many scenes like
No,
together. Like you don't see them interact and all that.
but they
You
don't
know.
really take away from each other. You know,
Yeah,
their humors are different, but similar enough that they kind of play well in the
yeah, I
same.
agree. Yeah, so I agree. And then you say Bill Murray is your secondary favorite character, right?
Um,
Or is someone else?
secondary. I don't know. I'm gonna stick with just Chevy Chase, just because every other character is. I'm not a huge fan of Bill Murray's character. I found it very one-dimensional and
Really?
kind of like the same joke over and over and over. Is that he's goofy?
I mean, that's probably the point. Well, what
Yeah,
about his
well, they.
brother?
I feel that they were kind of edging on being a little um, making fun of special needs, kind of a thing.
That's, I guess. Well, hold on. Let me see if they. Yeah, like it's funny. In my notes, they did say a mentally unstable greenskeeper at the Bushwood Country Club. Okay, that is very unethical. I mean,
Exactly. And so it was kind of uncomfortable to watch Bill Murray pretend to be this guy. And we're supposed to be laughing at these goofy behaviors, which are very clearly inspired by like a condition.
I mean, I guess the, at least this one walks the toll compared to others. Like we don't know. Like I mean, first off, you don't even know he's mentally unstable. Like I mean, like you could see him being eccentric. Like the whole llama
No,
story.
I feel like they're being very clear about it with his facial expressions and his way of speaking. Is it's not they're not going for eccentric.
That's true. That's true.
They're going for dumb.
Yeah. I mean, Yeah, I don't know what they can do with it. Yeah.
I
I
just
mean, this is
I don't
this.
I don't personally find that it's I don't find that funny personally.
Yeah. No, no, I agree. I mean, it's pretty much taste, and unfortunately, this is the '80s. Um,
Yeah,
that I mean,
there's a
there's
lot of
just
rules that weren't there then. So
yeah. So I don't know what they could have done. Speaking because you brought up the girlfriend, which is funny. Danny's girlfriend, whatever. I did not know she was doing Irish accent. Like I didn't know she was Irish until the documentary I mentioned.
Mhm.
When they mentioned that because they're every time you do a job, there's always going to be exchange students
Mhm.
there, so you're going to get foreigner people, and and because apparently this story is actually based on real events between Bill Murray's brother and Howard and Bill's experience of being caddies in the golf club
Mhm.
before. So it's cool, but the girlfriend thing is like it's like first off, the actress is American, so her attempting to do an Irish accent is just so stupid and so funny. It's like oh, because I mean, there's some areas you can hear the Irish, and then it's like she drops it down to
It was
American
very
accent.
strange. Like it took a while to kind of get it. It's like something is weird about the way that she's speaking. I can't quite pick up on it. And then like you
Yeah,
finally get one word that's very clearly an attempt. You're
the
like, oh,
Irish.
she's trying to be Irish.
Yeah,
She's trying to be Irish.
yeah. Oh my god, what they were thinking. I mean, it's funny. They
Like,
were
They were
parking,
they're making
making.
fun of Catholics.
Oh my god, no,
No,
no.
that's what they were doing. They were making fun of Catholics.
Oh really?
Yeah,
In this
because
movie?
yes, because Catholics are very, very extremely pro-life. And so
Oh,
you have the whole thing. She gets pregnant. No, of course not. And you notice she had a crucifix. She had a
oh,
cross. Because,
that's true.
she's Irish, which
Yeah,
most of the country is Catholic.
yeah.
And even later, they brought up the whole thing about Danny was like, "Oh, I'm thinking about becoming a priest," and he's like, and I think or it was a different character was like, "But you're Roman Catholic, right?"
Yeah,
Like,
it
yeah.
was. Yeah, it was like it was one of the priests that was hanging out in the club that
Mhm.
was Catholic as well. I mean, I don't know. There's a
No,
lot of characters.
they were making fun of Catholicism with that
That's
character.
that's true. I mean, I I gotta say, as a person who is Catholic, I just go along with it and just say, yeah, that's true. I mean. it's just I mean at that time I know it was a little strict and especially that but it's just funny now it's like uh you
They're
know
still like that, you know.
yeah still still yeah but I mean it's I mean for this podcast I don't know we should go in deep when
No, no,
the
no, no,
whole
no. We don't
conflict.
have to talk about that. I'm just
I mean it's just
it's
I,
a joke that's consistent with today's impression of Catholicism.
yeah well I mean every movie has been criticizing religion not only that but old fronts so I mean it's not a surprise I mean every movie has dealt with that in
No,
very
yeah,
bizarre
yeah,
ways but do you
yeah.
think but then like I think I never noticed that it's because like it's because it's like this movie is so much about selfish things and is like of the things of Catholic and that is just really bizarre to discuss in this movie. Um, I don't know.
Well, it's not that they're trying to discuss Catholicism. It's just they're making a joke about Catholics and Irish people.
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah, yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, first though, it was just a. It was. I mean, it's
Is all this talk of Catholicism getting you a little sleepy over there?
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm a Catholic person. Who it's
I
just
was just at dinner with a bunch of Catholics. I know.
oh, really. Oh my
Yeah.
god. I was in dinner with with all the government officials and my lawyer and
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Oh my god, and sending bets every time. Oh my god. Anyway. So, okay. What else? Well,
And back to the movie.
yeah, back to the movie. Back to the movie of Caddyshack. But what? Yeah, what else did you like about this movie? Because I'm curious. What's the other positive thing about this movie?
um, hmm.
Yeah.
Like there were little like humor sketches and stuff like that along the way that I did find funny. Like I found it funny with the kid vomited in the guy's car, kind of a thing.
Oh my god,
Like,
that.
things like that. Like there's certain things that I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. I like that. You know,
What
uh,
about the fart?
which part? Like Rodney Dangerfield farted.
Yeah, yeah, that the more like it's just a funny fart sound I never heard before. It's just funny.
I I
I
didn't
mean,
care for it. I didn't care.
really, you don't care for that? Okay. What about the part where he just throws his money at the musicians and they just start playing was it Boogie Wonderland?
I guess it got a chuckle out of me,
Yeah, that I
but it
like that.
wasn't like hilarious to me.
Yeah. Oh my god. Jeez. Well, what's your favorite stick? A skit, like because I brought up the pool scene where like that one is iconic because of they people thought the chocolate bar is something. Um, my favorite is where seeing everyone like following the golf tournament, and then they were trying to make a bet for that kid that was gonna pick his nose. That was
I
funny.
love that. That was very good. That was
Yeah.
very.
Oh my god, and him. Oh my god, that scene was just cracking me up. What else? That was just I guess funny skit. Oh, when we when we see Dangerfield at the golf for the first time playing around, like I do dug his like very gadget like bag for his golf. What do you call it? Golf sticks.
Oh yeah, that was odd with the
Yeah.
radio and the phone and it's everything in there.
Oh my god, I love that. I want that. I really want that in life. I'm like I want like because like you could get like you could drink water while
Mhm.
you're doing things.
Thinking about becoming a golfer.
Yeah, I mean, I yeah, yeah, just like him, like have a high tech gadget, golfer
Mhm.
sticks, and just be handsome. Uh, but yeah. So it's that scene cracks me up, and then of course him teasing the judge smiles the first time, like you know,
With the
wow,
hat and everything.
yeah, oh my god, that that's still funny. Um, but speaking of lines, what's your favorite line from this movie? There's a lot of iconic lines for this one, and I have a few of my notes that is funny. Like the one here, I totally missed this from my reviewing, but like this was funny. Of course, Judge's wife is in this movie a couple times, and then this one is oh it cracks me up when he replies, "You must be something before electricity." Oh, so here. Oh, this is your wife. Oh, lovely lady. Hey, babe, you must be something before electricity. Like, that's what kind of responses you could say that.
It just sounds like a really weird joke to me.
Oh my, come on, something before electricity. Oh my god. Hey, we should say that to JQ. Just like hit this one. Oh, hey, Jaden. Oh, what a lovely man. Hey, babe,
Here's
you must be
something
something before
before
electricity.
I dare you to say it the next time you see him.
Yes,
Dare
I will. I'll put a note in my disc. This one, the low grade dog food. That's the one I was mentioning. Hey, doll, could you scare up another round for the table over here and tell the cook this is a low grade dog food. I had better food at the ball game. The steak still has marks from where the
hmm
joggy or something like that was hitting it. So I then they cut the scene where the cook say dog food and then he wants to kill him.
I think my favorite bit was the that whole, as I said before, the What are you doing in this neck of the woods, nape of the woods, or whatever, nip of the woods, or
Yes, yes, yes. Hold on, hold on.
that was good. From Chevy Chase to the woman.
Yeah, I think I have it here. Uh, oh, here. Now I know why tigers eat their young. What about that line?
Which one is that?
I think that was where I think Ronnie says that when the dance starts in that
Mhm.
ballroom. So
I don't
that's a
get
good.
that.
I I think that's just like a underlying like, oh, that's why like the older folks chase after the young kids, right? Or get the young woman. I guess I don't know.
I guess so. I guess so.
I guess so. We need to watch that movie again. I need to see that. What else? Oh, stop thinking. Let's happen and be the bull.
And
Hmm?
what?
Stop thinking. Let the things happen and be the bull. What about that line?
I mean, I guess it could be funny,
Yeah.
depending on the delivery and everything.
Oh
I'm
my god.
sorry, man. I'm being a difficult co-host
How'd
today.
you how'd you not like this movie? This is so funny. Oh, here. This one will crack you up. What are you? Religious or something? Hmm? Hmm? Nothing? Oh
Like,
my.
what's the joke? I don't get the joke. You know,
Well, that one was I think towards the priest or something like that. I don't know. Okay, here.
like
Let me.
it's a good chuckle. It's a good chuckle.
Yeah, yeah. I know the chuckle. But hold on. You haven't told my father about. Oh, okay, working in a lumber yard. Here, this joke is funny. Here, I'll read it to you. I haven't even told my father about the scholarship I didn't get. I'm gonna end up working in a lumber yard for the rest of my life. And Webb say, "What's wrong with the lumber? I own two lumber yards. I notice you don't spend too much time there. I'm not quite sure where they are." Huh?
It's a chuckle. It's a chuckle, but it's not like, oh my god,
Uh,
hilarious.
okay. Oh, keeping the score in golf. Now, this is when Just Mills and Webb, his partner in crime, are doing the scores. They say, Ty, what did you shoot today? Oh, Judge, I don't keep score. Then how do you measure yourself with other golfers? By height. Now, Ty is, I think, the Chevy Chase character's name. So,
Yes, that is.
yeah. So,
Another chuckle. It's another chuckle because of these short little quips. Yeah,
hmm
I feel like the really funny things to me is like this mounting humor, like it builds on itself. These are all just
that's true.
little
Yeah. Quick,
like little
quick.
breadcrumbs. But where's the loaf? You know,
I mean, I guess so. I mean, so I guess comparing to Groundhog Day, did you think that Groundhog Day had better lines than this?
I do.
Like, okay, all right, yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of one-off lines. I like
Oh,
the whole
yeah,
shtick.
yeah. I mean, that's true. You do need one-liners to give you
Yeah,
scene pedigree, you know?
you're going. Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm very shocked. I'm very shocked. I mean, Caddyshack has so many great lines, and how you cannot like laugh so hard like a dog.
like a dog, very specifically.
Yeah, or a cat. I mean, you're a cat.
Meow meow meow.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Okay, the flying wasps. That's a good line. Bless the ship. All you sail on her. I christenate thee the flying wasps. That's the judge's wife. Like like sailing in their boat. They're gonna sail in the ocean and whatnot.
The flying what?
The flying wasps.
Wasps.
Yeah, wasps. Wasp. Wasp.
You know why they called it that, probably
Why? Tell me.
because the phrase is that the majority of America is a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
Really?
Wasp, wasp, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. It's
That,
continuing the religion and race jokes.
wow, I didn't know that. That's it's interesting. I didn't know that. Huh. Huh. That's bizarre to name your boat like that.
Well,
but
it's a joke. It's a joke because he's a wasp. He's a wasp.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, he is also Catholic, I guess. The judge.
Is the judge Catholic? No, I thought the judge was Protestant
I mean,
or
I
Lutheran.
did he say that? I mean, because he has this conversation with. I mean, because he's very racist. I mean, too. I mean, like
Yes,
he
he
did.
is.
Yeah, like when he goes talk to the priest, or whatever, in the first time in the movie.
Hmm.
In the beginning of the movie, he made like a mark about the Jew and the black and all that, and then it's
Yep.
like, yeah. So, I mean, so him naming this makes a lot of sense. So,
Well, I just remembered my favorite scene actually.
okay, tell me, what's your favorite scene?
It was the candy bar in the pool.
Oh, that's
I
what I
found
mean. The pool
that
scene. Yeah.
horribly hilarious. I found that extremely hilarious. Especially the build up to it of like, oh, you no more caddies in the pool, Dookie, and everyone starts rushing out. I thought that was hilarious. And
And then
then
the
with
the
Bill Murray
payoff.
eating
Yeah,
the
eating
yeah,
it, and
that
then
was that was good. That was good.
yes. Oh my god.
But
When
damn it,
I mean, when at first that I was like, no way they're gonna go that far, and they did. They went
yeah,
far.
they did. That was good. But it was from the build up to it. It's like you start with just that one scene of, oh, you want
Yeah,
this candy? Oh, damn, it's in the pool. And then it's like building and building. You're watching it, and like with the Jaws kind of music
the
going
music.
on, in the
Yeah,
background. Like it was building up to this whole thing. The whole scene was one massive sketch. It wasn't a one line or anything like that.
yeah,
It just
yeah,
built into this big thing. That was great. That was
yeah,
very.
yeah. I agree. Oh my god. I guess my favorite scene is the ending with Carl like blowing up the whole golf thing. Like I never expect someone to blow up the whole the golf area to just kill the golfer. So it was just so funny that they built that up.
Yeah.
Because like the whole movie, he's trying to kill this golfer. Like first shooting it, and then tricking it, and then now gonna explode the whole area to just kill it.
Hmm.
So I thought that was funny.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
pretty good. That was pretty good.
yeah, yeah. But what about what's your favorite comedy? What's your favorite comedy movie? What's your favorite? I'm curious. Just get an idea who you are, John.
Bean.
Being oh yeah,
The
Will
Bean movie, the
Being movie.
original, the one from the 90s. I think that movie is utterly hilarious.
Yeah, I seen bits of it. That's good.
I think it's so funny. I
Yeah, yeah.
will never get tired of watching that movie. I even have the painting from it hanging up there.
Oh yes, that is so true. Oh my god, I remember. Yeah, that's the one part I remember. The movie is the painting. It's like
Hmm.
the person like trying to like protect it, and then it's like Bean is making a mess out of it. It's just oh my god,
Exactly.
oh my
Yeah, it
god.
was so good. So good.
Yeah, you have like a British humor.
Yeah, a bit more of that.
Yeah, you're like high class humor. It's like, excuse me, I
Yeah, I only watch Bean.
didn't watch Bean. You don't
Bean.
watch these like lowbrow comedies about teens and adults and their hooligan ideas.
Yeah. Well, I particularly don't really appreciate it when it starts delving into this kind of weird sexualization of kids and
Mm,
and making fun of people who have like developmental conditions.
yeah. Well, the developmental like disabilities of film has always been a problematic thing. The sex thing is also another problem thing they do, but it's just what it
That's
is.
why I opened it with saying it was very of its time.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I mean that's the thing. This movie is very of its time. I mean, like compared to the other comedies I mentioned, like Ghostbusters or Groundhog Day, like they feel
Mhm.
more timeless and like you get their jokes.
Yeah.
Um, Here, like you can get the sense this is the '80s movie. It's just by how they're
A hundred.
talking.
The music, the talking, the humor.
Yeah,
It's all 80s. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's true, and I mean, like like it's not a bad thing. It's just you have to have like an insight and just open minded that this is sort of the thing that movies do. They sometimes cross the line for no good reasons, and just there wasn't rules for it. I mean, there's some that does need rules, but then there's others that don't think they need rules, and I just think that
I think it's just the directors and the comedian's sense of humor at the time. I don't think there's a
yeah,
need to make an excuse for the behavior or the jokes or anything like that. Like
yeah, yeah,
it's really just as offensive now as it was then. You know,
yeah,
it's just more people thought it was okay.
yeah. I mean, it's true. I mean, we rarely seen those types of movies in detail. I mean,
Yeah,
these sort of characters and serious manners, unfortunately. So
yeah,
we're
yeah, yeah,
getting we're getting better at it, so that's good.
yeah.
Okay, what else we haven't discussed about this movie? I'm trying to think. Um, you have any ideas, John, my boy?
Well, you haven't discussed that Kenny Loggins wrote the theme song
Oh yes,
for this
well,
movie.
yeah. I mean, it's a classic song. I love it. I mean, I do listen to it, here and there, but well, what do you think? It's. I mean, I love it just like the Danger Zone from Top
I think
Gun.
it's too good for this movie almost.
What?
I think it's too good for the movie. It's like listeners like, all right, it's all right, neat, whatever it is.
I mean, it totally captures what this movie is about. For everyone, this movie.
How so?
Well, I mean, despite the downs they're going through, in their lives, like it ends up being all right. Like Danny. Like I think the song fits more with Danny than anything
Mhm.
else. Like if you look at the
The main
movie,
character. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So I feel like it connects to that more there.
yeah,
But also with the other characters as well. You think about it, like the judge, like I say um Al and the entire web Chevy Chase characters won the bet. And so like they end up be all right, and all that.
except
So
for Ted Knight. Ted Knight is not all right.
yeah, I love that part when you say like rascal buck. Uh, Handle this person was he say get take out his check or something like that.
Right.
I just love that like final scene.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, yeah. Just seeing that poor man gonna be beaten by older men.
Hmm.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Yeah, I mean it's a classic song. I mean, I don't know if I put this over Danger Zone from Top
No,
Gun.
Danger Zone is clearly better.
Oh, cool, is better. You seen Top Gun? I
No, I
mean,
have not.
oh my god, you need to see this movie. It's so funny. I mean, like it's very 80s movie. It's not like if you think it's gonna be like this top tier, like like Top Gun Maverick from last year, like it's not that kind of movie. It's very 80s movie that's very cheesy and just
Well,
very
that's okay.
male centric.
I haven't seen the Top Gun Maverick movie either, so
What you need to see Top Gun Maverick. It's great. It was one of the best last year. It was one of the best summer blockbusters.
it
And
doesn't. I'm sure it doesn't beat Puss in Boots too.
I mean that's true. I mean I that's up to debate. Like
I don't know if that's up to debate. I'll have to
I
see it.
mean well okay. Puss in Boots is like number two for me, but it cannot beat the Batman for me. So just my opinion. Yeah.
Oh, you mean with Cedric Diggory? Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. It's just yeah, like the Batman is just the best movie ever last year,
I,
and the last was the second, and then
I,
third. I don't know what's third. I mean I could probably put Top That Magnet there, and yada yada yada. That whole stick. But yeah, yeah, Caddyshack. Let me see. I don't know if there's. Oh, it's a apparently there was a feud between Bill and Chevy. So
Hmm.
when they got together with their scene, do you see towards the end of the movie? Uh, Apparently it was a miracle that it was fine. So
Really?
I speak yeah, well, because Chevy and Bill are very problematic actors on set. Like they have a very
They both have huge egos.
yeah. So I'm very surprised this was totally fine with them because and they were both previously Saturday Night Live actors as well.
Hmm.
Um
Right.
and and then that's another thing I do want to mention. Like Howard Ramis is also in Saturday Night Live, and yeah, like yeah, because this was after Animal House, where like a lot of the Saturday Night Live actors became stars and all that. So
Hmm.
yeah, so like this was like an early sign of Saturday Night Live being like, a huge influence
Bigger than
of
a,
this.
just Saturday Night Live. Yeah.
Yeah, so it showed how these actors could be because like a few like 2 years later, like '82, Eddie Murphy becomes big.
Hmm.
So yeah, so it's big. And speaking of Howard Ramis, this was his first directorial debut as a director.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
Mm.
this is his big one. Like, and I mean, the fact that he handled all this crazy production, all the people partying and all that, like, just amazed how this movie came together. Um,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, and his next movie, it was the vacation movie, the Natural Balloon
Hmm.
Family Vacation.
Yeah.
That's still great. I still like that movie. And then of course he did Groundhog Day, and of course he wrote Ghostbusters, and his career's been
Hmm.
pretty much set in stone. Still sad he's not longer with us.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So very sad thing. Okay, so just checking another um things to see. So something about the love making scene between Danny and the girl, the Irish. Um,
The Irish girl.
yeah. Because thank goodness the director did change that because she said she was very uncomfortable. So I'm not just looking at the I MB trivia notes, but
I
all
mean,
that.
that was pretty. Yeah, that was a. I don't even remember most of that scene because it was just kind of uncomfortable. I was just like, I'm just gonna look
Yeah,
outside, listen to
yeah, I mean,
you.
it's so classic. It's the same thing with Little Nicky, with that person snucking the the mom in the window.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
yeah, so I mean, it's always going to be there for some bizarre reason. I mean, even like, um, I'm in a house handstand, but like, I'm in a house like was way funnier because it's John Belushi. Like, he's great. Um, Here is because it was just so quick, and it's like there's no punchline. That's the thing.
It's the joke is the act itself. Yeah. So.
Yeah, exactly. So this that like that it was just like because like he got the Irish act the Irish in bed where the other outro that was like handsome and like he looked like I don't know like uh 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 Chachi from Happy Days or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, yeah. But does it encourage you to watch the movie again? What do you think?
does it what?
Does it encourage you to watch this movie again to maybe have a second
Mm,
opinion? Or
no,
no, you're just like you don't
no.
want to see this movie.
I think I'm good. I'd rather
Oh
spend
my
my
god.
time watching the next movie in our podcast series.
Okay, that's fine. And in this case, I think this would be a good time to sign out because we got more ideas to discuss, more evil plans to discuss as well.
Exactly.
Exactly. So thank you, John, my co-host of Andrea's Pop Culture Talk. You look handsome as usual.
Oh, you too, my dear. Thank you
Yeah,
for.
thanks. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, and thank you everyone to listening to this podcast. Me and John will be back again as soon as possible. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.